So I'm here with Luna Aura. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Awesome. I'm doing awesome. Luna is, why don't you tell the people what Luna does?
What Luna does. Luna is a sex priestess and the founder of the sex magic school of ISIS and Lilith. I channel specific light codes and information from the temple of ISIS and Lilith and the sisters of the temple to help mankind right now to create sacred unions and evolve and align and do it better.
And she is awesome.
Thank you.
That's what I say. She's awesome. So you offered to help me with a few things that I was trying to work through. And I don't know how we do this. What do you want? Do you want me to say the thing that I want to work on?
I want you to be in your divine masculine right now. I want you to center, stay in your heart, and guide this conversation. Be the guide, be the leader, be the divine masculine leader of this energy that we're creating right now.
All right.
And I'm going to respond to you as a divine feminine.
Okay.
So I want you to be in your power. Trust yourself, trust your heart, and let your heart lead you.
So, okay. My lovely sister, Luna, I would like you to help me to understand how to open my heart more.
Go deeper into that. What does that mean for you to open your heart?
It means that I feel like it's open. It's open to help people. And I help a lot of people. And I do well. I channel. I do a lot of stuff that actually helps people. But it feels like there's layers and blockages of receiving from other people. So I can give, but I'm not good at receiving.
Okay. So there's a few things. First of all, acknowledging and accepting the fact that you are here in a male's body, and your job is to give more. Your job is to be a channel of light that actually gives more. So it's not like I have to master surrendering and receiving, which is very difficult for me because I grew up in a world that forced me from day one to be more masculine. But for you, your mastering is to be that clear channel that the light of source will always flow through, and you give and you give and you give. Because when you are in that clear channel, it's a constant flow. You're never empty because you are literally in this constant flow. It's not like you're giving everything and you're empty. No, no, no. That happens to women, actually. We give too much and then we're emptying because we need to receive. For you, it's about being clear, and what we spoke about before of eating animals is very important. You want to be a clear channel. You have a lot of powers. You're very powerful from what I sensed before, and we did that work, and I felt your energy super intense. It will be a lot more grounded and centered and more powerful and expanded when you clean your vessel, when you clean your channel. So you have to remember every single second of your life, I am a channel of light. Like, you say this to yourself. I am a channel of light. I am a channel of love. And whatever you are bringing into this channel, that's what you're going to create and give. And so that's number one. And yeah, it's very important. And what we did before we came on this call, I did the work with you on the grounding through your penis and your sexual organs, and allowing that energy to give it to the mother, to the earth, to be balanced, to be, and you felt it by yourself when you did that, when you felt that groundness and your sexual energy was balanced and not all over the place, then your solar plexus are all of a sudden awakened, right? And then you do that more to align all the different energy centers in your body.
Okay.
Especially you know, the heart is your power source, is a divine masculine. And so every action in your life, ask, am I doing it from the heart? Am I being the divine masculine leader from my heart?
Right.
And that includes everything. That includes, you know, when you're interviewing someone, that includes when you're talking to a friend, when you're choosing what to eat, when you're, everything you do has to come from the heart. Just the way everything I do must come from the womb. It must come from that eternal love of the mother. If my job and my mission and what I want to embody in this life is the divine mother herself. And so, first of all, ask yourself, who do I want to be? What kind of man do I want to be? If you just want to stay that man, you know, that lives in this world that you've lived before and no growth, no expansion, that's fine. If that's what you choose to do, great. But I don't think that that's what you're choosing to do. You seem
Right.
like a man on a mission. You seem like a man who is in a constant desire to expand and change and be the better version of themselves. So are you taking the actions, or are you just talking about it?
Right. Right.
Because if you're not taking the actions and you're not aligning them with your words, it means nothing. Your words, as I'm, you know, don't be offended, but I'm going to say this to you and every man. If you are not taking actions that are aligned with your words mean shit. And
Okay.
women will not be able to trust you. Little girls may be able to feel like they can trust you because they're not aligned with their own truth yet. So you're going to attract people like that. But if you want conscious women and people, men too, in your life, then what kind of a man are you? You have to be very honest with yourself about that.
Mm.
You know, very honest.
Yeah. Yes.
And another thing that's important too, of course, is not to waste your sexual energy, is to really practice holding your semen and bringing it up into your heart and not ejaculate 20 times a day like most men do. You know, be careful what kind of pornographic or sexual images or videos or things that you're receiving from the external world. Be very mindful and really protective in that way of your sexual energy, because it drains you.
Mm.
It really drains you, especially as a man. So
Okay.
yeah.
Anything else?
Yeah, so also be very mindful and respectful and honorable about the energy, because again you're a channel that gives all the time. A lot of men are not conscious and mature enough to have mastered their energy that they're giving to the world. And so one of the mastery of a divine masculine is to, again, be very conscious and mature about what kind of energy you're sending out, especially to women.
Okay.
Because they will receive it. And a lot of the times they will receive it not in a very good way. I can tell you as a feminine person, as a female, that throughout a woman's life, even when we're little girls, most of the time maybe men don't really mean to do so. But because they're not conscious of themselves, they don't actually know themselves or their energy. You know, one look that you give a girl or a woman, it can really rattle her, like not in a good way.
Mm.
So really be mindful, is what I'm saying, of the energy you're giving out.
I guess my question is, we've interacted a few times. What energy do I give out?
I don't know yet for so much because we've only had these interactions on Zoom, and today I felt, you know, we had a longer talk and I felt a little bit more trusting.
Okay. Okay.
And more, I felt like today I really felt your very pure intentions. I felt your love. I feel, you know, I feel this is true for all of us. You know, I feel like when we are, like we spoke before, when we're more vulnerable, people can trust us more.
Right.
You know,
right.
they can open up. They can see that beauty, and so that's what I really liked and I really appreciated.
Okay.
It was very, like I said, it was medicine for me to receive that love and appreciation from you.
And that makes me feel good because, you know, that's my intention. So I didn't want to give out anything other than that. And I'm happy about it. I know I still got work to do on myself. Um, but it's good to know I'm at least at that point. So, so
And also another tip for men is you can always have the excuse, and I hear it from a lot of men clients or men that I meet. There's always the excuse of, you know, but I live in this little small town, or I live in this part of the world, or, you know, and men are not really conscious around me. And, you know, I'm like, okay, that's good. Maybe you have been put there to be the beacon, to be the leader for these men to awaken to their divine masculine. So grow the fuck up, own your divine masculine, and show them how to do it. Let them, give them the permission and to join you there, to join you in that better place. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, that's power. That is actual power. And if we're not here on the planet to be better versions of ourselves and to inspire others to do the same, why are we here for it?
right.
I mean, what are we doing?
So I agree with what you're saying. You've got a little drill sergeant attitude in you.
I do.
Yes,
I do.
you do. She.
It's the sex priestess in me, because like my main kind of like gift is a sex priest, and every sex priestess is different. You know, you have like different women that, you know, I initiate, and they have different gifts and different ways to speak to men. Some of them are super soft, like no matter what the man does, they're like super soft and accepting. And I'm like, my job is to be that drill sergeant to push and like force that divine masculine out of you in any cost, you know?
Right.
So no, it's not going to work on every man. I'm aware of that, but on the men that it needs to work on, it will. And even if they don't accept it in the moment, a few months later on, a few years later on, I know I planted a seed, and I see them shift. Like I see, and they come back, and I'm like, thank you for being so harsh on me. Like I have men in my programs, in my God men programs, I am a drill sergeant, like super tough, very different than the way I am, of course, with the priestess program, because that's a very feminine energy, and we kind of feed off each other's feminine flow and just surrendering. Right. But when I'm with a man, like, no, no masturbation for 3 months. But that's tough. The thing. That's what men need. Men and women are lacking. We do not have in our society today true initiation, and I speak about it a lot. We are lacking this powerful rite of passage ritual phase in a boy and a girl's life. And that's why when men come to me, even if they're 50 or 60 years old, they need their soul, and our spirit, our human spirit still needs to go through that initiation rite of passage stage. So I'm gonna bring them into that rite of passage when they're 55 years old, yeah, if they need to, because they didn't have it. So their inner boy is still there controlling the situation, because their subconscious mind still thinks I'm still a boy. I didn't have the initiation to be a man. Men today, especially in America, for example, you know, the rite of passage and initiation from being a boy to man, what is it? To go to the club and to get drunk and to fuck a girl. You know, to drink all the beer, and like, do you see how destructive that is? And how completely unconnected to divine masculine that is? Right. So makes sense. We need the rite of passage, and we need to go through the initiation. And initiation looks very different for a man and a woman, and the masculine and the feminine. And the masculine needs that tough love kind of vibe, kind of energy. You know, it's, yeah, so.
How long, is there any difference in the time of initiating a woman compared to a man?
Yes. Especially, okay, so there's a difference also with what I initiate, with what I speaking about my work specifically, because some women come to me for, just self-improvement and connecting to their divine feminine. So their program is about 3-4 months. And then I have the sex priestess initiation, which actually keeps changing. This month, I actually expanded it because there's so much more knowledge and information that's coming through. And so if a sex priestess actually wants to be initiated as a sex priestess, like this, like she knows this is the work she wants to do on this planet, it's almost a year of initiation. It's a very long initiation. And for the men, I work with them about 3 to 4 months. Sometimes a little more, sometimes, they need a little bit more extra kind of support and things like that. But the main journey is about 3-4 months. And again, I wish I could meet all these people face to face and not, unfortunately now I work online a lot and do calls and video calls. And that's why another reason why I'm initiating a lot of sex priestesses, because I feel like men really need to work with this energy one-on-one. And so I want women to be able to do that. And when I say a sex priestess, just to be clear here, we're not having sex with men. Our job is so deep. Men get from a sex priestess so much more than what they would get in sex. Like, we're here to align your soul with your mission, with your purpose, with your power. That is a much greater gift than a pussy. Not that the pussy is not a great, pussy is the greatest gift ever, but what a sex priestess does is this is very sacred work, very, very sacred. And that's why, sometimes I look serious, as you said, I look serious. It's because it is serious. This work, I have a lot of reverence and honor and respect. And that's what I demand from my initiates and people that work with me too. There has to be respect and sacredness in this path.
So are you always the drill sergeant, or
No.
are you okay? Just
when I need to.
When you need to. Okay.
Most of the time I'm the mother. Most of the time I am a mother. I hold, and even when I am the drill sergeant, I'm still doing it from a very loving mother place.
Right.
I'm doing it because I give a shit.
Right.
And because I see the greatness in someone, and I'm not going to take anything less than their greatness. Why would I? Why should they?
Right. And I feel
the
that
world needs you in your greatest essence and power.
And that's what a mother spirit is. They want to mother and raise, whether it's a male or female, they want to raise that person to be the best that they can be.
Exactly. And I'm not here to feed your ego. So, your people's ego might be very offended, and a lot of them do from things I say even on YouTube. But I am here to feed your soul. I'm here to awaken the memory and the knowledge of your soul. So if your ego is offended, I don't care, because I'm not here to speak to people's ego.
That's good. That's powerful. So how do you deal with people's hurts and pains from the past?
It depends. There's a lot of different ways. It depends on the moment. So sometimes I work with the subconscious mind. I consider myself a pretty good master of the subconscious mind. I know it, I understand it, I can see it, and I know how to manipulate and work with it in order to get to that specific place in that person that we need to get to, and like exactly what point to push.
Okay.
And so, yeah, so there's a lot of ways, and that's why I work one-on-one, and I don't do group calls, and I don't do group initiations, because I really need to work with that specific person on their own specific shadows and belief system, and go really deep into it. So, so the subconscious once you understand the subconscious, it's a fascinating place to explore in our own journey in our psyche. It's fascinating. And when you know what buttons to push, it's like the shift in a person is immediate. You have no idea how many initiates that I have that told me that they go to like years of like therapy, and in one session they didn't get in all these years of therapy what they got in one session. It's because we know how to work with the subconscious mind.
I love it.
Yeah. And I studied hypnotherapy as well.
Okay.
And I actually find that that there are so many ways now that I work with that are way faster than hypnotherapy. Like I'm talking in 10-20 minutes done.
Nice.
Like shadows that have been stuck in the subconscious since the day this person was born, or like even past life, just done. You know, because even hypnotherapy, it takes like an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours sometimes. Like you have to go deep and fast. Like I don't, this is the drill sergeant power in me. It's like I don't mess around. I don't bullshit. Like I will go there, I will get it, and like we'll deal with it right now. Like there's no like, it's people that know me too in my personal life. I always say I don't got time for this shit. Like we need to do, you know, like
that's
we
awesome.
don't got time to mess around. No time to mess around.
I love it. I love it. So how many people do you take on?
Very little.
Do you take on a lot of people?
Yeah, no, I can't do a lot of people at once. I have to take them. I do maybe 3 at a time. Only because I give so much of it drains me. I give so much of my energy to one person. And plus, especially this year that I'm writing 2 books and 4 new classes for my school, like there's just so much, and so much of my own personal expansion and healing and, you know, empowerment. So there's a lot on my plate. So I'm trying to always, you know, respect my own process and do it in the pace that I'm feeling comfortable with.
That makes sense. Okay. Okay. So you don't really look for people to come to you. You believe that the right people are going to come at the right time. Always.
That always happens. It's the only way. People that are not serious about what this work and are not respecting it, they cannot work with me. And it's not even like I've had people that I had to say, I'm sorry, I can't work with you. I've had that happen. But usually it's just kind of naturally fall. Like this work is pure truth. It's pure truth, and there's no bullshit around it. So yeah.
I love it. Okay. Yeah. That's amazing. So another question that just kind of I'm curious about, have you ever seen or had an interaction with sight physically with the Sisters of the Temple?
Yes, but can you be clear? You said sight?
Like, have you ever seen an aspect of them that visually, whether in your mind or in this physical, have you ever seen them? Okay.
All the time. I am in the temple all the time.
And what do they look like? I'm curious. What do they look like?
No one ever asked me that. That's awesome. No one ever asked me that. Ooh, that's an interesting. Maybe I should actually write that in this book I'm writing, the Sex Priestess Manual. I should actually maybe write a little piece about how they look like, because
I agree.
Women might be very interested in that.
And men too.
Yeah. It's interesting. Let me okay. Give me a second.
It's okay.
The thing is, they're always different, you know. Sometimes they're just bare naked, and sometimes they are just wearing beautiful garments. They look very human. They are human. They're just a very evolved form of a human. So the frequency and the dimension they live in is a lot more higher and evolved, like I said, and pure in a way, a lot more pure. There is a lot less duality. Again, there is duality because there is still the feminine and the masculine, but there is not duality the way we have it in this time space matrix of a lot of distortion of that duality. That duality is very respected and honored and pure. And so I feel like that's also why they look so empowered and relaxed in their feminine body. It's not even the way they look externally, it's the way they move. You know, it's almost hypnotizing. It's confidence. It's not even the right word. It's so much more than confidence. It's just pure embodiment of divine feminine, pure embodiment of all the different aspects of the feminine, which is the mother, the bitch, the witch, the seductress, the lover, the child. Like they embody all of it at once. And I get chills now. And it's so beautiful to see. You know, this is one of the things that it's a great time that I spend on this with my priestesses. It's really connecting and honoring and respecting those aspects of your feminine. It's a really deep work that we do, really deep and really fun and really empowering. And yeah, I feel like that's really just looking at them move. Honestly, just the way they walk.
Wow.
And it's yeah. And because they're not, especially in the walls of the temple, you know, time is not really an issue in that dimension, especially within the walls of the temple. It's literally when you enter the temple, you enter like another mini dimension, you know, within their dimension, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And it's just everything is slowed down. But then sometimes when they invite me and I'm in the rituals, and there's many different rituals, many different ceremonies. Some of them with actual sexual intercourse, some of them without. It's so powerful. I can't even describe the power. You can't describe it. It's beyond what we're capable, I think, in this world. I think the closest I got to it within this physical body is when I took a bunch of drugs, you know, like I'm talking psychedelics, like good drugs, the good drugs.
Okay.
Psychedelics and medicine, you know, plant medicine. So always the good drugs. I don't drink alcohol. I don't do all that stuff. So the closest I got to it, and still I haven't been able to experience the full experience of what I'm feeling with when I'm in the temple. Because it's beyond this world. But what they're trying to do, what they are doing, not trying to do, the sisters, is when they're bringing information through me right now, you know, again, I always say I'm like the translator, and it's really difficult. I don't say I'm doing a good job all the time. I feel like I'm not doing a good job most of the time because it's so hard to translate into this very limiting language, especially English. It's a very limiting language, actually.
Right.
To describe this force. And so not only do I have to translate, but I have to put it in a way that people in this modern world can use and can understand. So, because again, because we've been programmed. We've all been so programmed. And so what I'm bringing here is a completely different language of what people are used to, and people, different energies and different teachings. And yeah. And so, yeah. Ken, as long as you keep eating animals, my brother, you will not be able to.
Okay.
That's why, again, with my initiates, if they do not agree to cleanse their body and to commit to a plant-based diet, and I don't even like the word vegan, to be honest with you, because it basically says that being vegan is like a special thing here, but eating animals is like the real. No. Eating animals is not food. Animals are not food. We've been programmed to think that it's food. It's killing us. It's mucus. It's poison. You have to understand, in order for me to connect to the temple, I constantly have to keep myself not just physically clean, but spiritually and emotionally and mentally. I have to be in this state of awareness 24/7. And when my initiates, especially the priestesses, for men it's a little harder to connect to the temple. They don't really need to. We women are your connection to the temple and to the mother. That's just what it is. And so women really have to really come to that place of pure embodying that pureness and power within them, because when we do that, we're going to help the men and we're going to bring them with us. That makes sense.
So would you say I mean, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but when I felt like I was connecting a little bit, do you think it's because I have a connection point with you and that's where it came from?
Not just connection, you actually have respect for me as a human, as the form that I am, and you actually have respect for what I do. Because like you told me before this recording started, you told me it changed you, like it you know. So that gratitude, that respect is what helps you connect with me on a deeper level, even if not Luna me, the person, but the soul part of me, the mother, the divine feminine part of me. And so that's what pulls you, because you want to go back. Every man wants to go back home. Every man wants to go back to the womb.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yes.
So when a man really meets a woman that embodies that, it's the most attractive thing in the world. It's the most scary thing in the world. And most men, because they don't do the work on themselves, are going to run away from women like that usually. And that's and men who are really in their shadow, what happens is they see a woman like that and they go, that's a witch, she's evil. So you can see all the different places that a man can be in, and we've seen it throughout history. We've seen, what the shadow masculine has done to women. And so it's not even the woman, it's you. It's like, what kind of state of consciousness am I in right now as a man, as a divine? How connected am I to my heart, to my power, to my truth? Am I allowing this program to take over me? Or am I going to master my shadow, my light, and be a leader, a loving leader to this world?
Right. Okay, so I think I have two more questions before we're done. And the first one is, and I can edit this out if you choose to tell me, what's your real name? What's your birth name? What's the name that you came into this world with? If you don't mind sharing.
I don't want to share that because.
Okay.
I'm going to explain why. I want to explain why, because people need to know that. It's not that when you understand the laws of magic, which we are, by the way, whether you like it or not, whether people want to believe it or not, and they say magic is evil. Magic is not evil. You are magic. We are living in a magical world. They've made you believe that magic is evil so that you don't use it and they can use it against you. Hopefully that makes sense. But when you understand the laws of magic, you understand that we have these different personas, and the witch or the wizard part of oneself has to be detached in a way from your everyday persona, person, character.
Okay.
And there's a lot of reasons for it. I can talk for hours about it, but just to give you the basics, there's a lot of reasons why, especially in my line of work, I can talk for myself, is that I really need to have that separation and also protecting myself.
Okay.
Because I get a lot of nasty energy thrown at me.
Okay.
And so having a priestess name, one of the reasons for having it, it's not all the reasons, one of the reasons is protection in a way and separation. And another reason is to actually do my work better. is because when I walk into my priestess persona, and a name is power, you know, whatever we speak has power.
Right.
It gives, you know, I feel more connected, more aligned. I don't bring my own individual ego and bullshit into my work. Does that make sense? So
It does.
it helps me do my work better, focus, be grounded. Okay, this is what I'm here to serve now. It's like really like anyone else. Like when you go to a doctor, you know, you go to a doctor, you call him Dr. Mike, Dr. this. You
Right.
don't say, hey, what's up, dude? Like, because they have a persona. They are here right now in this character of someone who's supposed to heal you. They're not really healing, most of them, but you know what I mean? Like,
right.
They're having a persona. So if you look at it, most people have that in one way or another. And we have different personas, you know. In the morning, we are you know, the mother that's, you know, giving food to her child. And then at noon, we are the woman in the office that's, you know, we're the boss or whatever. In the evening, we're the lover for our husband. We have all these different personas. And one of the things that is really important, again, to understand with the subconscious mind is to accept and honor all of these different aspects of ourselves. Because we can actually work better with ourselves and with the world around us if we do. So just a quick note on that. And by the way, women have a lot more personas than men. Men would have maybe one or two, like I said, the masculine is a very one point of attraction kind of energy, a channel of light. The feminine is everything. So that's why when a man looks at a woman, it's like, she's crazy. She's got all these different personas. Yes, she does. And the more we accept that, the more women accept that about themselves and men accept that about women, we can have such more harmonious communication and relationship and honoring that. Like a man would honor that in a woman. It's like, yeah, like, oh, okay, like her other persona just came out. Okay, cool. and they would, it's a gift. It's really a gift. But the thing is, we don't know how to use these gifts. And so it's scary to us and we don't understand. And there's miscommunication and misunderstanding and disrespect and, you know.
Understand. Okay, so I guess my last question is, okay, you talk about the sisters in the temple. What is the masculine God side of that?
Of the in the temple?
Or, well, whether it's the temple or just in existence, like, because, you know, there's religions that say, well, this is God, this is God's name, this is the masculine God, Jehovah or Allah, or, you know, but what, according to you, according to the sisters, what is that other part?
So doesn't it seem funny to you that God, the creator, right? Supposedly the creator of life and creator of everything, would be a male? Because where does life come from?
The womb, usually,
from
a female.
womb.
Yeah.
From a female.
Yeah.
So doesn't it just, like, on a very basic logical level seem like, why would the creator, the source, be masculine, be a male? Or like this old dude with a beard in the sky that, like, that's at least what I've heard my whole life in the Jewish community. Is like, there's this old dude with a white beard in the sky and he punishes us and he gives us gifts if we're good. And he was like a kind of a Santa Claus, you know, like scenario. And like, that does not make sense. It really does not make sense. So let's just bring that out first of all, because I mean, people that are really awakening today, and men, I hear so many men. I just recently joined TikTok because my friend was like forcing me to join TikTok. I'm like, you have to do TikTok. I'm like, okay, fine. After like months of like, finally one of my friends, she was like, okay, I'm going to do TikTok, and she helped me out. But anyway, I actually found a really wonderful community there. And I follow all these men and young, very wise men that are speaking just the same, like the moment of their realization that God is a female, she's a mother, she's a female, because we all come from that eternal womb. And so it's beautiful to see men in that space of wisdom and honoring. When a man honors the feminine, I have to tell you, that's one of the most sexiest, powerful things that a woman can observe. Because we feel safe, because we feel seen, because that man also is connected. Because we can trust him because he is in truth. It's basic truth of the universe. The womb is the source of everything. And again, we're talking about this energetic womb, this eternal, the Big Bang. It's the womb, whatever you want to call it, whatever image you want to put onto it.
Sure.
And so we already know that not all of us, those of us who have actually done the research and went deep into the truth of it, like that religions have completely distorted everything. And they started off with, the story of Adam and Eve and Lilith, that they forgot to mention, by the way, because Lilith was the mother of us all, that is returning to the consciousness of many women today. And that's why my sex temple is called the Sex Magic School of Isis and Lilith. And because that symbol and energy and wisdom of Lilith, she's coming through so many people right now. So many people. People contact me every day. It's like, I saw Lilith. I connected with Lilith. What do I do? How do I speak to her? How do I work with her? I'm like, okay, relax. Everything's cool. And a lot of people are scared because they've been taught that Lilith is bad. Lilith is evil. Lilith is that, demonic woman who kills children.
Yeah, I've heard of that. I heard that too.
Yeah, but that is the story that's been put on her because she's pure mother, pure love. She did not want to be subdued to Adam. She's like, you came from me. I want to be equal to you. And and basically Lilith said, I want to be equals. We're equals. And Adam said, no, I'm going to rule you. And that's why she was banished from the garden. And again, this is a story. This is all symbolism.
Right.
This is what happened with the feminine and masculine energies. And this is one of the reasons why all women today, whether they're aware of it or not, have this very deep wound and fear of the masculine because of that place of not just wanting to control us, but abandon us as well. So it's that deep wound of fear of just being completely controlled and abandoned. So we are still carrying that wound. It's in the collective consciousness. And the more we connect to Lilith, the more men connect to their divine masculine. And it's why it's so hard for men is because even in this basic story that, we're all so familiar and it's kind of ingrained in most humans, even in that story, we don't have any divine masculine energy for like a leader or as a role model. You see, like we have Lilith. We have to dig deep into like really learning about Lilith because they took her out of the Bible, just like they took a lot of truths from the Bible and manipulated into their spells, because it is a spell, by the way. But we don't have any role model for what a god is. We have a role model for a goddess. Where is the god? What is the god? So that's a really, like, going back to your question, that's a really good question, because like where do people look for, when they so it's all been so distorted. The divine masculine is turned into this shadow aspect of a man who needs to hunt and kill and take and control. That's not divine masculine. Divine masculine leads. He doesn't control. He's a leader that's guided by his heart. He's a leader that wants for the best of all its community in the world. He doesn't take, he gives. He's grounded. He is in constant state of connecting to source. And he sees the womb as his connection to source. And when and this is what I also teach men, like, you know, everyone tells women today, especially with sex magic and sacred sexuality, everyone tells women you have to pick your partner wisely because they enter your body and their energy stays there for the rest of your life. And that's true. But I've never heard anyone besides me telling men, you have to be careful the woman that you choose to enter. Because when you're entering a woman, you're entering the universe. She has total control over your energy when you're entering a woman.
Wow.
Total control. A man is in his most vulnerable state when he is inside a woman. You are literally right now inside the most powerful place in existence. Now, women don't know this mostly, so men don't know this. And then, of course, everyone's in their shadow. It's like two shadows coming together, and good luck with that. Obviously, there's a lot of layers over there to talk about. But once a divine man understands and knows that this woman that he chose, she's his vessel. She is this vessel that he's going to pour all his life force and energy into. Now, if you're going to choose a vessel that has holes in it, or that's dirty, right, or that's tainted in a way, or, you know, there's going to be leaks. You're going to keep pouring, you're going to keep pouring, you're going to keep pouring. It's going to be leaks and leaks, and it's going to come out messy. And it's so, what did you do with that? If you want to be in your divine masculine, you must choose a divine woman. And in order to do that, first of all, a man needs to be alone for a while. He needs to stop masturbating for a long time. He needs to really connect to his heart. He needs to clean his body, because if he's not a clean body, and again, you cannot be in your divine masculine or feminine if you're eating animal products, if you're drinking alcohol every day, if you're taking like really bad low vibration drugs, if you're having sex every day, if you're watching porn. You must get out of the programs and get in touch with source again. Because if you don't know your own source as a man, you will not be able to recognize it in a woman. And then you will not be able to choose the right vessel. So men really have to choose the right vessel, because again, you're just going to keep pouring your life force. You're going to be so tired, because when you're pouring your energy into a vessel, a feminine vessel, what happens is she takes it in. That's her job as a divine feminine. If she's a divine feminine, she takes it in with love. She accepts it, receives it. She holds it. She transmutes it. She makes it even better. And then again, this is the sacred sexual flow. And she brings it back into your heart. And so she's basically, what she does is taking your energy, making it a lot better, stronger, powerful, giving it back to you, and then you can give it to the world. And when you do this again, you also create things together, because when a couple is in that divine alchemy space, they create so much light in the world, you know. So yeah.
Wow. That, I mean, it's a deep level that nobody really talks about.
Exactly.
So wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, well, I want to thank you so much for spending time with me. I know you're busy. You got a lot of stuff to do, a lot of things you're working on. And it was so amazing to talk to you before we recorded, and that was special for me. And I appreciate you so much. So
thank you, brother. Appreciate you too.
I appreciate you. Hopefully we can talk again when you have less on your plate. Let's see, what else do I want to say? I think that's it. I love you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
And I hope you have a good day, okay?
Thank you, love. Thanks.